orientation program. We welcome everyone uh, and congratulations and thanks for choosing Arjuna Academy and trusting the services that you'll be uh, availing from us for the next 2 years. We will do everything possible within our uh, limits and strength to make sure that your trust is upheld. So we thank you all, and we decided to start today and have an orientation program here because today was is considered a little auspicious for us. So we thought we'll begin on an auspicious day, uh, the orientation program. And today the main agenda would be what all things the child and the parent and Arjuna Academy as a team needs to do in order to make sure all the children achieve uh, their goals, aspirations, etc. And also give introduction about all the teachers and also our past achievements. I think we have also put it in the WhatsApp group. It is only to motivate the child that we can do much better this year. Year on year, we want to get better and better. So we'll also share a few of our achievers, and I'll also be speaking about some special qualities each of these achievers had, hoping that our children will try to capture the essence and implement it in their own lives and also be a success story 2 years from now. So, yes, I would also request if all of you can turn on the camera, it will be a more personal kind of interaction. In fact, for all the classes, that is a mandate that we have told. The students need to turn on the camera. So, yes, thank you for that. So this year, I would like to begin with a note that there's a saying: when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Uh, so this is a year where it's quite a challenge, but many a times I honestly feel our kids in Bangalore are really blessed. I'll tell you why this is a golden period for all the Bangalore kids. Uh, the reason is, if you look at many of these competitive exams that we are aspiring to uh, attend and succeed, right? Like the JEE mains, the NEET exam, the Karnataka CET. Most of them, although it is an all India entrance exam, I'm sure all of you, CET is of course a state exam, JEE mains is an all India entrance exam, NEET is an all India entrance exam. So we know that it's an all India entrance, but the good part is, although it is an all India entrance, there is a lot of what can I say, reservation kept for Karnataka students at Karnataka colleges, right? For example, in NEET, if a child is aspiring to get a government medical seat, we all know that 85% of the seats in Karnataka medical colleges are reserved only for Karnataka students. That means 85% is a state competition that's going to happen. The remaining 15% is the all India competition that will actually happen. So similar with NIT or JEE mains. In JEE mains, if a child gets a good rank, although it is an all India entrance, if you are wanting to get admitted to NIT Surathkal, there is 20% reservation kept only for Karnataka students. During my time, it was 50%. So this is a state exam. CET, we all know, is a state exam. Now, why am I bringing this topic of all India and state? Is for children and parents to realize what a blessed situation our kids in Bangalore are. Because in Karnataka, we have around 30 districts. Yes. And if you look at the education in most of the districts, because I can say this confidently because we are catering to some schools at Belgaum, we are also catering to some schools at Mandya, Chamrajnagar, etc. We can see that the children there do not even have necessary infrastructure to attend online classes properly. Neither are the teachers experienced to do these online classes, which means education practically has become almost like a standstill in many of these districts. So if you ask me, out of all these 30 districts or 32, whatever is there, uh, real good education in online platform is happening probably at most in just 4 or 5 districts. Bangalore is one, Mysore, then Mangalore, and Hubli. So we can understand that although it is an entire state that's competing for all these seats, the Bangalore kids are at an advantage. Having said that, although we are in a favorable position, if we do not capitalize, just like the hare and the tortoise story, we may start the race early, but if we are relaxed, then we may end up losing with all the great advantages. So therefore, right from day one, rather than having negativity in our minds, thinking, oh, if at all offline classes would have been there, it's much better for me. It's online now. Rather than just brooding over things that aren't under our control, rather one can see how this is a golden opportunity for me because I'm so much more blessed and fortunate compared to many others. So therefore, this is a golden period, I say, for you all, Bangalore kids. Parents must also keep motivating the children. And reminding them of this good opportunity available, because many others, I've seen at the end of first year, they have just covered 5 to 6 chapters of first year portions in other districts because either the online platform children are not comfortable or they do not have necessary infrastructure. But here it's not like that. Very systematic education wherever, whichever institute one goes to in Bangalore. So we should take advantage of this, see the positives here, and start off right from day one. Yes, it is said, he who fails to plan plans to fail. Is it not? So we have another 2 years at most in front of us. So every day is a crucial day. We need to plan, be very systematic, and surely that will make these 2 years a very stress-free learning experience, and one can easily cross over the finish line and succeed and achieve his goals. So with that note, I thought I'll begin realizing what good position we are in and trying to take maximum advantage of this. So now, before we begin to talk about the regular operations, etc., I thought in this seminar I should also throw a little bit of light on what all opportunities are available for our science students, what all career paths are possible. Some of you may already be knowing, but I'll still throw some light into each of them. And I also thought I'll spend 5 to 10 minutes on how to decide your career. In to some of the students, I have also done this when we met you all for the counseling or for a session in your school, etc. But I'll try to keep it very precise. And those who are hearing this for the first time, please note down all these points. I'm sure some of them will help you with whatever experience we have got with all these years. We would like to share that. So firstly, how to choose one's career, because 11th and 12th is formative years for you. It is after these 2 years, we decide what we have to be doing for the next 40 years. So how do we decide our career? Mainly, I would say that 4 to 5 things are very important. The first thing is, of course, the interest of the child, and the word interest shouldn't be wrongly equated to something like infatuation or infatuation. For example, I've seen some students coming and telling, sir, I like riding KTM bikes, so I think I'll become a good automobile engineer. Or sometimes I've seen parents also saying, my child is very smart, he knows how to repair different parts of an automobile, so probably I think mechanical line will suit him. So I tell the parents, please don't misunderstand. Repairing a bike, a mechanic can also do it, but a mechanical engineer is not one who knows to repair the bike. He's one who knows how to design the bike to make it durable, more economical, and more comfortable, etc. Same way, a student may have an interest to open up the PCB board and rig up the circuit, etc. That's a good thing. It'll help him surely on the path of electronics or electrical, but that doesn't qualify him to be a necessary electrical engineer, because for being an electrical engineer or electronics engineer, one needs to be good at so many other things, like good in physics, good in mainly good in physics, etc. And therefore, in when we say interest of a child, it must be backed up with proper knowledge. Knowledge meaning, all right, I am saying I like to be a software engineer. Do I have an idea what are the different branches in software engineering? If we aren't, then suddenly when we land into a company, we may end up thinking, oh my God, I thought that's something different, but it's something that I wasn't looking for, right? Because within software, we know how many different fields are there. There is network security, where a group of companies just work on algorithms to prevent hacking of a system. Then there is database management. There are so many other things like that. So within computer science itself, we have so many branches. Now, in each of these branches, the first aspect of interest is you should at least have a knowledge of what is in store for me there. Why am I saying when we haven't even cracked the exam of 12th standard, why should we know about all this? Because the very first step for any activity is we need to have a goal in place, right? We need to have a goal that I've narrowed in. These are my plan A, plan B, plan C. I would like to do my engineering either in this branch or this branch or this, from this institute or this institute or this institute. So the more we become focused on our goal, then it becomes easy to work towards it. Is it not? Many a times, those who play football, before the match begins, we just form a circle and we keep striking the ball to each other, and there will be a person who will be running around trying to get the ball from all of us. That's not very interesting. We go and play for 5-10 minutes, warm up. Then the real excitement starts when we put a goalpost in place and then start playing, right? So, first thing needed for a student to be successful is he or she needs to start planning and having a clear cut goal. This is my plan A, plan B, plan C, etc. Now that you have a lot of free time, even the bridge course is not going to be a full day class. You still have a lot of time. The next 1 month, I would request every student and parent to meet each other, talk about what your aspirations are, children, to your parents. And with the parents' experience, maturity, and the connects that they have, they will surely be able to put you in touch with either their relatives, their friends, their colleagues who are working in different domains, and you can get an idea of at least what goes on in the industry. Yes, that should excite you. Yeah, when I started solving my 12th standard physics, electrical circuits were very exciting for me. And on the other hand, diagrams were always drawing and visualizing was always a difficulty for me, although I was a PCMB student. So that made me clear that mechanical engineering would not be a right path for me, because I had researched on what are the topics there in the mechanical engineering syllabus. And I realized that almost 2 to 3 semesters, a lot of topics involve visualization. Although there is a little bit of physics, there's also requirement of drawing, etc. Just imagine, I didn't know, if I hadn't known what was in store in mechanical engineering, and I had actually taken that with half knowledge, then I would be really struggling in my future years, right? So this is what I say when you say interest. That interest must be backed up with solid reasoning. Why are you interested in software engineering? Why are you interested in medicine? What is that that keeps you excited? So you'll have to have at least 5 to 6 solid reasons that, yes, this is the reason why I like medicine, because I see this particular aspect is exciting me. I see there's a lot of work to be done in this, and I would like to invest my energy in this to see if something new can be done. So that is the first part, interest with knowledge. So that is the first aspect that everyone needs to be very much convinced about before you decide your career. The second aspect, which I want everyone of you to deeply introspect and also take your parents and well-wishers feedback, is you may have a particular interest in a particular subject. You may also have good knowledge about it. Yes. You may also know which are the institutes which offer good degrees, how much is the rank that I need to get, and for that, what is the level of preparation. Yeah, you may have all that knowledge, but finally, you should have required skills to take up that particular branch. As I told my own example, I knew that there are certain skills which you can develop by yourself, and certain skills are very, very difficult. Actually, there's a saying, impossible is a word in fool's dictionary. That means there's nothing impossible. But obviously, if I know that there's a strength that I have, and there is another skill with lot of effort I may develop, it's rather wise to choose what your strengths are and work on it, rather than choosing something which is your weakness, yes, and trying to struggle and become a master of that. So I knew for sure that diagrams and drawing was not something good for, I didn't like that very much, so I intelligently avoided that part. Same way, some children say, I want to be a doctor. Then we ask them, are you happy memorizing? They say, oh no, I don't like memorizing. Then we say, that's a basic prerequisite for a doctor. Imagine a patient is about to die. You can't say, I don't memorize. Just wait half an hour, stay alive. I'll go and refer what medication to give. No. So that's a basic thing that every person who's aspiring for a doctor should be. Apart from that, there are many other skills, right, required. So like this, you'll have to see within yourself, and consult experts also. Go and meet up some expert doctors. Ask them, what is that skill that you feel made you successful, or what do you think a doctor should have? And ask a software engineer or a mechanical engineer or aeronautical engineer. Meet them, find out what are the skills that they feel is needed, and introspect. Take feedback of those who know you very well, whether you can, and ask yourself whether this skill is something that's easy to develop or difficult to develop. Yes, certain skills are easy to develop. For example, memorization. That's a very easy skill to develop. And how do we know that it's an easy skill to develop? A student can memorize entire movie scene by scene after watching it once. So, what is the difficulty to memorize some 10 formulae? So, that's a skill that everyone inherently has. It's only that we need to try to know what are the techniques to keep these formulae in mind when I'm able to recollect a movie. I know some students, they have even memorized languages that they do not know. K-pop songs, Korean pop songs. They are singing. I asked them, do you know K-pop, Korean language? They say no, but they're able to memorize it. So if you can learn and reproduce songs in a language which you don't even know, then memorizing 10 to 20 formulae, 10 to 20 reactions is certainly not a difficulty. So this is a skill that one inherently has good memory power, right? It is said in research, medical research, it is said the human brain has enough capacity to store all the information kept in all the libraries of the world. All the libraries, you count all the books, all the pages, whatever information is available, that can be stored in the human brain. This is the capacity of the human brain, actually. Okay, so we do have that inherent capacity. So that, coming back, as I said, the first thing is interest with knowledge. Second is skills. Third is priorities. What are your priorities in life? Yes. Some people say, sir, I would like to become a cricket star. I would like to become a athletic. I would like to go into athletics, or I would like to pursue movie direction, unconventional path, or even sometimes some people want to do their own research, but not part of a conventional education system. They say, no, I just want to do my own independent research. Then the obvious question that we ask the students to introspect is, now what are your priorities? If you're financially very sound, if you do not need a recurring income for the next 20, 30 years, and you can still earn a living with whatever comes, then pursue your passion, no problem. If you can put your full energy into that path, and maybe you'll become successful there. But if you say, no, sir, I need a financial recurring income, then probably you'll need to go through the conventional path. You'll need to take up the competitive exams. You will need to apply for universities, take a job eventually. And sometimes the job that you're taking may not actually coincide with your passion. Then what do we say? We say invest your extra time on weekends and try to develop your passion into a profession. For example, Sir Donald Bradman, the greatest cricketer who all of us know, who had a batting average of almost 99.94. That was his batting average. So he was from a very poor family. He was a building contractor by profession, but as a passion, he was a cricket player. And once he made it to the Australian team, became eventually popular and famous. Then he gave up his old profession and then stuck to cricket, right? Like that. So this is what I say: plan your life and priorities intelligently. If you are needing a conventional path, a conventional degree, recurring source of income, but your passion is something else, then be prepared to spend that extra time on Sundays once you start working, to develop your passion and make it eventually turn into a profession. Yes, so that is priorities that I covered. And then the fourth thing is working environment. Yes, so each of us will have different likes and dislikes for our working environment. Some of you may prefer, as long as it is intellectually stimulating, I don't mind staying till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, etc. For me, the intellectual stimulation is what gives me happiness. There could be some people like that. So then you should choose such a profession where there are a lot of deadlines and targets, and you'll need to crack a tough problem. Yes, that way. Some people say, I like to do a lot of research. I like to go deep in studies, but I don't like this pressure of deadlines and all. I would like to do it in a calm manner. So then research and other options can be there where deadline, because once you go to the industry, it is all based on business and commercial. So there will be timelines, there will be deadlines to be met. But if you're interested in a more slow paced of research, then a university research could be an ideal platform. Or sometimes in an industry, they'll have a separate R&D department where it's not so much time bound. It's only a long term or a future kind of product that they're trying to develop. So there you'll that is another type. Or somebody may feel, I'm okay with all these intellectual stuff, but I want it to be between 9 to 5, because I want to also have some time for myself, some time for my family, some time for society. I want to contribute in different ways. Then you'll need to choose a different type of profession, right? Some people say, I like to do journalism. Then the prerequisite is you should like that environment where you may sometimes get rebuked, or you may get a very shocking response from celebrities. Sometimes you may be mistreated and you shouldn't still be affected. Yes, so each profession has its own particular type of environment, and you should see whether that environment is going to suit me for a long term, right? If it is not, then you should make a plan after certain years, what is the alternate profession or path that I have to choose. So this is the fourth thing that I say. And the last thing is, of course, job satisfaction. And what is this job satisfaction? Very simple question. On Sunday evening, what is your feeling about Monday? That determines whether you're satisfied or not. If you say, oh, mama, tomorrow is Monday, again, I have to go to that boring school, hear those boring lectures, then you're not satisfied in what you're doing. But, or in your profession, if you do the same thing. But if you say, oh, okay, tomorrow is Sunday, again I get to meet the children, I get to have some nice discussions, etc., then you're actually liking your profession. So you have to have a clear cut definition for yourself. What is it that's going to keep you excited for the next 40 years or 45 years, however long you intend to work, doing probably almost the same thing with few little changes, but there should be a satisfying some definition of your own satisfaction. So these are the 5 things. I again repeat: not interest with knowledge, then the skills, then the priorities in life, then working environment, and job satisfaction. So it's high time. The first part of entering into the JEE, NEET, KVPY, CET program, whatever we are, is we should have a clear-cut plan for ourselves. What is my goal? So at least within the next 1 month, each of you should at least come up with plan A, plan B, plan C. three options at least. This is was something that's close to me. I've done some amount of research. I think this branch is somewhat exciting. If not this, I would like to do this. If not this, I would like to at least pursue this. At least three options you should have: plan A, plan B, plan C. And within plan A, you should have at least some 5 to 6 universities or institutes where you would like to do it. For plan B, again, you should shortlist 5 to 6 institutes or universities. And for plan C, and then you should clearly know, okay, if I have to make it to this institute, this is the effort needed. Oh, here, this institute is a good institute. If I have a lot of money, I can just go and get admitted. So I don't need much effort. So whatever research it is, you need to have clarity in that. So that is the first part, goal setting. And once you set a goal, and at least 25% of the job is done. Those parents who have done research in PhD or MTech, etc. I was a little surprised when I was doing my master's by research at NIT Surathkal. They gave us 6 months, and the first 6 months in research, they didn't ask us to do anything. They just told us the goal of all these 6 months research or the literature survey that you need to do is you need to come up with a problem statement for your final year project, which is the next 1.5 years. So 6 months they had given us time just to identify what is the real problem where I can contribute and solve that way. So goal setting or identifying where we need to work on is a very important task. You need to invest some time. Then only you will be clear, this is what I need to do in life. Otherwise, as the current goes, we will just keep going. Then we'll realize, oh, I never knew that this is what was in store for me. And that will give us seriousness also to work towards our goal. Yes. So I spoke about how to decide your career. Now in science stream, what are the opportunities available? Of course, those who do not know my introduction, I many times feel a little awkward to introduce about all the achievements or the ranks that I've got, because I can say it is not my own effort alone. It is all the combined effort of teachers and whatever gift God has given. God has given each of us some skills. So I'm an alumnus from NIT Surathkal, from the branch of Electronics and Communication. Graduated in the year 2011. I worked for Cadence Systems India as a senior design engineer between 2011 to 2017. During that time, I was fortunate to also have a US patent in the field of temperature sensors IP for my invention on a circuit that improved the accuracy of a temperature sensor several times. And of course, in 2012, I also started Arjuna Academy for Achievers. With the passion of instilling high quality education along with good values and character for our children, so that whatever Abdul Kalam said, right, 2020 India will be a superpower. It isn't still, but hoping that with all the inspiration and motivation that we give, children who graduate from Arjuna Academy will eventually start doing something good for the country in terms of research, in terms of innovation, and in terms of service to society, and make India a more, what can we say, renowned as a superpower. Yes. I also completed a Bhakti Shastri course, which is a systematic study of Bhagavad Gita, which helps one to deal with several ups and downs in life. And many times I find joy in counseling students on similar matters. During my student life, as I said, I had a long list of very highly qualified and sincere teachers who helped me to achieve several good ranks. In CET, my state rank was 55. JEE mains was in that time, during that time called AIEEE. So there I got a state rank of 51, all India rank of 2,500. Birla Institute of Technology, some of you may be aware, it's a private engineering college. There an all India rank of 31. ComEd K state rank 47. IIT JEE, this is now called JEE Advanced, an all India rank of 3,800, and Math Olympiad, an all India rank of 17. And also regularly present seminars at IISc, IIT Madras, NIT Surathkal, RV College, PS University, etc. on career guidance, personality development, etc. So that is about me, Harish PK. And now, as I said, I wanted to throw the put this slide up. This is not an exhaustive list. There are many more things. Uh, Google has all the information, but unfortunately, many times our children and we don't take full advantage of Google. Okay, it can give you all possible things, whatever you want to know about any stream. So much of information is there. So in science, engineering, every one of us know that if you want to study in any of these engineering colleges in Karnataka, CET is the exam that you need to take. Otherwise, if you write JEE mains and get a good rank, two options open up for you: NITs, National Institute of Technology, and Triple IT. Triple IT means Indian Institute of Information Technology. Yes. Anyone would like to answer? There is a Triple IT in Bangalore. Where is it? Electronic City. Go to Electronic City flyover. You'll see Triple IT. Okay, in Bangalore. So Triple IT is considered on par with NIT. You need not even leave your home and go to hostel. If you get a good rank, you can study, do your bachelor's in either computer science, information science, electronics and communication. Triple IT mainly offers courses on circuit branches, meaning ENC, then electrical also I'm not sure, but ENC, computer science and information science is available. So JEE mains opens up two options for every child. JEE mains will open up doors to NITs as well as triple IT. Apart from that, many institutes which are not in Karnataka, some other institutes out of Karnataka also consider JEE mains as a parameter for entrance. Okay, they have a quota kept for JEE mains achievers. Some of the popular universities are in West Bengal. They have Jadavpur University. Many of you may not know much. It is ranked 13 in India. It's on par with IITs. Okay, they have an exam called West Bengal JEE, and I, as far as I remember, there is some small quota for JEE mains, but I think it is West Bengal JEE. There's one more institute in South in Tamil Nadu, Shastra University. Shastra University in Trichy, Tanjavur, I think it is. So that's also quite good in ranking. It's much better than RVPS in terms of research and all. But placement wise, obviously, the Bangalore engineering colleges outdo some of the others sometimes. But in terms of research, learning, it is much better there. Shastra, there also they have a quota for JEE mains achievers. So like that, many institutes, Amity University, I think has some quota for JEE mains achievers. So you need to Google up. The list is endless. You need to Google up. I'll give you a site where you can go. All you need to do is type on Google MHRD, that means Ministry of Human Resource Development, top 100 engineering colleges in India. You'll get all the 100 engineering colleges, out of which many will be IITs and NITs and all. And remaining parts, you can see in, if you look at a particular university, then go to the website of that university and see how do you go get there, right? Whether it is IIT or whether it is through JEE mains or only their private exam, etc. Right? That's a homework for all the kids. If you're serious about career, all of you should also do some work in terms of shortlisting which are the universities, yes, and also see what are the courses available. In Shastra University, when I was just googling up, I saw a lot of variety of branches available, which kind of kept me excited. Same way, you google up different universities, you'll see many things coming up. Okay, so that is about engineering. And one reason why we tell students in Bangalore, there's a mindset which is different from the North Indian mindset. In North India, there's a lot of craze for IIT. And here in Bangalore, in South, whatever we have seen is children are satisfied. Wherever I get, that's fine. Of course, what is right, I am not here to comment there. Uh, but what I would say is, many a times, even those who are having lot of craze for IIT, NIT, if you ask them why you are so crazy about IIT, I end up getting answers because उधर placement अच्छा है, उधर package अच्छा है. That means it's only money that's the consideration. But rather than that, one should see what should excite him to go to IIT and NITs or good institutes is not the package alone. That also will be a next thing. But the major part is the kind of updated knowledge that you will be receiving in these institutes. So we are not here to promote a rat race that if you don't get into IIT, you're doomed. No. But at the same time, what kept me during my 11th and 12th very excited about IITs and NITs was the kind of research that happens there. It is so much updated and relevant to the industry. I'll give you an example. To some people, I've already told this. When I was in NIT Surathkal in 2008, in my second year, we were studying ARM microprocessors. In NIT Surathkal, second year, what was the microprocessor that we were studying? ARM microprocessors. Then 2019, I was casually picking up a VTU engineering textbook. VTU is the normal CET engineering colleges. And I saw that even in 2019, students are not studying ARM microprocessors. They're studying Intel 8085 processors, which probably your parents, if they have done engineering, they would have also studied the same thing. So this is the level of outdated syllabus many a times the normal engineering colleges give. So those which are deemed are better, they try to upgrade their syllabus. So therefore we say autonomous. Those who are autonomous, they try to upgrade their syllabus. But I would always say, the more you are closer to your work studying in a good institute like IIT, NIT, you have a lot of opportunities to be relevant to what is happening in the industry. So that should be a motivating factor for us, not the money alone or the package alone. Because if you look at the packages at RV, PES, etc., I wouldn't say they are very bad compared to NITs and IITs. They're almost same. Sometimes RVPS get better packages also. One or two people are offered. So, but the kind of knowledge that you can learn, the kind of exposure that you'll get, opportunities to do internships with good companies, they're all more there. So therefore, that's good. Same with medical. Medical, now there's only one exam for government medical seats, which is NEET. If not NEET, then what is the other option? There's no AIMS now. AIMS is removed. So even to get admission in AIMS, you'll have to write NEET exam only. If not NEET, then some of the private colleges have their own examination, like CMC Vellore has its own exam. Here St. John's has its own exam. So again, all that you need to do is Google up top 100 medical colleges in India, MHRD. You'll get the list. Go to each college, find out what is the admission procedure, whether it is through NEET, it is through their own exam, etc. And then you'll have a clarity. Yes, how many exams I need to appear that way. So if not medicine, what are the other options for a student who's wanting to make his career in the field of biology? There are many. If not medicine, there is dental. If not dental, there's also Ayurvedic. For getting an Ayurvedic medical college seat, you only need to write CET exam. If you get a good rank, you can get enrolled for the Ayurvedic medical course. Apart from that, CET also gives an opportunity for a student to do his course in physiotherapy, and he or she can open up his or her own physiotherapy clinic. There's also veterinary course available through CET. B Pharma and D Pharma, they're all the other things that's available for a bio student. And finally, BSc Agriculture. If somebody has their own farm and they would like to improvise, then BSc Agriculture at good universities are also another option apart from medical. For the engineering field, If not engineering, then there's also an opportunity for the students to join the army by taking up NDA exam, National Defense Academy. So those who clear this exam, round one and round two, can become an engineer or a technician in Air Force or Navy, etc. So NDA exam is a quite easy exam for those who prepare for JEE, because it is of 900 marks, out of which 300 marks is mathematics, and those who prepare for JEE can easily score good marks out of 300. And they also have physics and chemistry of the JEE pattern. Apart from that, there are subjects like social studies and English, which the child has to study by himself. But NDA is one opportunity for children to be in the army, navy, air force, etc., but on the technical side. Yes. Apart from that, fashion and design, some people are interested in interior architecture, interior design. So then NATA is a state level NATA exam gives you an opportunity to enroll at the local colleges which offer architecture or interior design course. And every NIT, not every NIT, some NITs and few IITs also have this course on interior design and architecture, for which you will have to prepare for JEE mains paper 2, which is based on architecture, or you should clear JEE advanced on physics, chemistry, math. If you get a good rank in JEE advanced, then they call you to write aptitude paper on your checking on your diagram skills, etc. If you clear that, then you can study at IIT Kharagpur or IIT Roorkee, etc. For interior design and architecture. At this moment, I would like to proudly say two of our students are doing this course of interior design and architecture at IIT Kharagpur. One student, Praharaj Ipsita, she graduated this year. It's a 5-year course. She graduated this year from IIT Kharagpur. Then one more, Abhinav. You'll see their photos on the results when I share. He's into his 3rd year, I guess, now in IIT Kharagpur. So we have people who have been doing this course, and they prepared sincerely for JEE Advanced, and after that they also practiced basic aptitude on drawings, etc., drawing skills, etc., and they're able to get there. Apart from that, National Institute of Fashion Technology has a separate exam for which you don't need to do anything with science. It's a completely different exam. So somebody who wants to go into fashion design can also opt that. But usually for the science aspirants, there is no much correlation. It's just another opportunity available, but they'll have to do preparation by themselves. Agriculture, I already told you. Humanities and social science, many IITs offer uh, science degrees on social science. If you Google up in IIT Madras, there are BSc degrees offered in IIT Madras for economic science, all that. So again, if you're serious about doing that, you'll have to see how is the entrance, what is the cutoff, etc. But several IITs are offering this. And next, I would like to talk about pure science. If somebody says, I want to do research in pure science, lot of opportunities are available. One exam, KVPY, will help the child to get into Indian Institute of Science to do research if the child's rank is good enough. Otherwise, we have this IISER, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research. It is next to IISc for MSc, BSc degrees. They have a separate exam again. You will need to get a good rank there, or you need to get a good JEE advanced rank. With any of them, you can make it to that institute. Then every IITs have a 5 years BSc plus MSc course. If you get a decent rank in JEE advanced, you can do your BSc, MSc in engineering physics, or only chemistry, mathematics and computing. And some IITs also have a 5-year MSc in biology, biotechnology, etc. So a lot of opportunities are there. Apart from that, Birla Institute of Technology also offers 5 years BSc, MSc programs for biology, chemistry, physics, etc. So it's a lot of options. Somebody who says, I would like to do only in mathematics, then we have ISI, which is located near your Kengeri railway station, Jairam Das bus stop, right? If you go there, you will see Indian Statistical Institute once you cross the railway gate. That's an institute known for doing good research in statistics. Then in Chennai, we have Chennai Mathematical Institute, CMI. They have a separate exam, right? So if somebody wants to do only math, apart from IITs, KVPY, all the other things, there is also these kind of opportunities. Okay, so this is all some handful of options available. The options are plenty more. So it is now the ball is in the students' court. They need to clearly do research along with the parents, have a healthy discussion, and by next 1 month, you should have clear plan A, plan B, plan C. Many a times we have seen students in the second year, 3 months before they write their final exam, when we ask them, what is your goal? Whether you're looking at JEE, CET, they still are clueless. You shouldn't certainly fall in that category, into that category. You should have a clear cut plan. Otherwise, what will you work on? You're not clear on what to work. Then how will you succeed? We will end up becoming jack of all, but master of none, right? The more we have clear cut priorities, it becomes easy for us to work towards them. And our teachers can also guide. If you say, these are my priorities, can you help me to crack these exams? Otherwise, we will not know whether I should be training you for JEE, for some other exam, etc. So with that, I think we have spoken plenty about the science stream options. Of course, I think most of these things we have spoken when we met you only. What is our mission of Arjuna Academy? Mission means something that on a day-to-day basis we try to adhere to. This is something we try to provide cost-effective education and to create professionally superior manpower, meaning not just making students by heart the formula, rather improving their reasoning skills, making them equipped in a competent manner, making them highly competent. But along with that, we also want to instill deep foundational values of good character. And the goal of Arjuna Academy is every one of our students should be a principle-centered leader in the society, right? That means you should lead everyone and with principles, and that way India can go to the next level. And vision is, of course, we want to become a leader in the field of education, and we want to create a brand of principle-centered teachers, leaders, and entrepreneurs for creating a self-sufficient and sustainable community. That means making sure that we come up with innovative solutions which can compete with the other products which are substandard. Many a times our economy is current economy in the world, global economy is driven on capitalism. Capitalism means you provide a product, but you're not going to guarantee him that this product will keep him happy. So you'll again have to manufacture another product because you want to keep generating newer and newer funds. So what we tell our students is, yeah, you also produce newer and newer products, but not for the same problem. Let's say I have a water purifier. What is the current philosophy? Okay, if I make a water purifier which is very long lasting, then how will I repeatedly make money? Because once I install the water purifier, if that doesn't get repaired, I'll not be able to make money year on year. So what do? They make a water purifier which will last at most for 1 year. And every year, if you don't replace it, replace the parts, it won't work. So this is a capitalist based economy. What we are telling our students is, you make a water purifier that will last for 5 years. Then you may have a doubt, how will I make money for the next 4 years? Now you have solved that problem. There are 100 and 1,000 more problems that are existing. Why don't you work on a different problem now? Yes. What is more exciting? Is it isn't it more exciting to solve 100 varieties of newer problems rather than trying to give solution to the same old problem, and that to a substandard solution year after year? Yes. So that is what we say. You also try to produce newer and newer products, but for different solutions, different problems, not for the same problem. So that is something that we wanted to say. And this is something that we try our best to ensure that our teachers are very friendly, they are very approachable, they are very good with their communication. Uh, we go through a very strong recruitment process. So any teacher who makes it into Arjuna Academy, he or she will be very thorough with the concepts. They are achievers in their personal life, and they are strong with ethics, morals. We try our best to give personal attention. That is our motto, right? Personal attention is the culture. And we also have make sure that our teachers have good patience to sit with students, clarify their doubts. You will see several of this our your seniors responding that anytime we send doubts either on WhatsApp, etc., our teachers are very responsive. uh, that's something that we have stuck to all these years. We wish to retain them, and this is something that we can commit confidently to parents. Now, this is the other part I wanted to say. Towards the end, I'll introduce the teachers, and then I'll also take you to the results that we have got all these years. So this is some guideline for the students. How much time do we have? Yes. So this is some general guidelines for students. I want students to pay attention. Parents also can keep a note of the guidelines. The first thing is regular attendance in class with the camera turned on. Okay, so last year was a tough time for almost everyone who started the online classes, because whichever institute I asked or the schools that I asked, how are the online classes, the response was pathetic. The reason, because camera is not turned on. Once there is no turning on of the camera, we hardly get any feedback from the student. And many a times our students are being very honest. They messaged us, sir, we dozed off, we were playing computer games, we were parallelly watching a movie on Netflix, etc. So we do not want any such things. So this year we have made it a mandate that if the camera isn't turned on, the child won't attend the class. He'll directly be thrown out of the class. So camera should be on. And Bangalore kids telling our teachers, sir, internet bandwidth is less, is hard to believe. I'm sure your parents have not brought you up like that. They have given all the facilities, including a private room. Or I tell the students that Sunday is a holiday only for your parents, not for you. Why? Because all that we have done as student is when mama cooks some nice dish and unfortunately she has forgotten to put a little bit of salt, all that we do is we throw it and say, don't you know how to cook this? But what is the contribution from our side? We don't go and buy sabji in the market, we don't wash our clothes, we don't iron our clothes, we hardly do anything. So much of comfort and pampering is given to us from the parents, and I'm sure they also provide all the good infrastructure to you. So camera has to be turned on right from the bridge course class. And mic should be working. Yes, many a times when we ask a question, students say mic is not working, so you set it right and then join the class, we say. And students, the I know that sometimes many because over a period of 1 or 2 years, students and teachers, we get close to each other, so we ask our students casually, why are you hesitant to turn on the mic? So then they say, sir, sometimes we don't know the answer to a question. It's very difficult for me to tell in public, I don't know. Okay. So these are three words that I want our students to remove from their mindset. It is okay to say you don't know, because you are not God. We are not. I myself don't know so many things. Everyone in this world do not know many things. If you knew everything, why would you have enrolled with us? You could have done self study and cleared the exam. It is okay to say I don't know, but don't feel hesitant. Yes, so don't have such things. We are not here to make you uh, uh, we are not here to test whether you know everything. The goal of conducting these, asking you for feedback, is whether you have understood or not. And in case the child feels he or she, when asked for, doesn't know the answer, then at least I would say the first option is always the best. You should be in a position to say, sir, I could not get it. Then we can at least figure out where your doubts are, right? Then we can redo that concept, etc. So mic working and response to teacher is something that's very much mandatory needed. The other thing is well maintained separate notebooks for NCRT, CET, JEE mains, NEET, KVPY, whatever you are preparing. You cannot have NCRT and JEE in the same notebook. NCRT and CET is okay if you want. I would say rather you have NCRT notebook mathematics divide into two parts, because two teachers will be handling. CET have one book for mathematics, divide into two parts. JEE mains divide into two parts. Or NCRT and CET, if you want to club, it's okay. But the JEE mains or NEET cannot be written in the same book as NCRT, because for your board exam, you'll be looking at NCRT and CET type of questions, and JEE mains is completely different. When you revise for board exams, you should have clarity on what is relevant for NCRT, what is relevant for JEE, NEET, etc. Yes. So this is the second one. This year, every week we are asking our students to upload the notes also regularly on Google Classroom, because many times students keep looking at the video but they don't make notes, and they say, I watched the video, I've understood it, but finally their marks are not satisfactory when the tests are given. So we want notes to be made. Prompt submission of assignments and class notes on the Google Classroom, very important. Regular attendance for all classes, all tests, both are important. And for the tests this year, we have told children, you will have to maintain an error correction notebook, where whatever mistakes you have performed in any test, you have to write the correct answer to that. If you're not sure why that is the right answer, you need to get it clarified from the teacher, and maintain an error correction book. During revision time, this will come of great help to you, because these are the mistakes that we have performed, and there is a high possibility that we may perform the same mistake again. So going through the error correction book will actually help you a lot. Okay. And next, not visiting too many online sites and getting confused rather than approaching the teacher. Yeah, some of our students, unfortunately or fortunately, this era is called era of information explosion. So there are so many free videos, so many free notes, so many free websites where all content for JEE, NEET, etc. is there. It's good to have all that, but still you need a teacher to guide you what to do, what not to do. So don't get confused watching hundreds of sites, surfing and getting some books and solving different questions. Rather consult the teacher. If you feel the number of questions in our module, in our previous year questions are less, and you have already completed it, you want a higher level of challenging problems, you directly come to our teachers. We have more than 1 lakh to 2 lakh problems per subject at more advanced level. Okay, only if you give you on the first day, you may faint and fall, so we have not given that. So once you finish the basic requirement, if you have something more, that if you need something more, approach us, rather than going to multiple websites, taking up multiple tests and not knowing whether it is relevant for the competitive exam that you are preparing, etc. Okay. And regular study schedule right from day one. What all we expect you to do: all NCRT questions up to miscellaneous exercise, any chapter, whether teacher tells or not, it is the responsibility of the student to ensure that every question is solved. Many of them will be solved in the class, some of the doubts will be discussed, but whatever is not discussed, it will be given as an assignment, and every question of NCERT up to miscellaneous must be solved. Whatever module we give has good number of questions. Our modules per chapter this year we are bifurcating. CET ke liye we are giving a different separate module. JEE we are giving a separate module. So NEET students will get CET module and NEET module. JEE students will get CET module and JEE modules. So there are a lot of questions you need to solve right from day one. Then the other thing which we tell students is no mobiles with security codes. Many times we have seen this problem that students, they have so many gadgets given to them, and there is so many security codes, and parents hardly have transparency of anything what's happening. So we want students to be very transparent to the parent. Many times I ask students, if there is something fishy, only you need to put a security code. If everything is good, why unnecessary security code? It's not some confidential data that you're storing. So children, we want you to be very transparent to parents, because when lot of comfort is given to you, we don't want anyone to misuse that comfort. Like last year, as I said, several of them were surfing on other things, doing chatting on the social media, etc. No addiction to social media, no socializing, no developing boyfriend, girlfriend, etc. With all the social platforms. This is not the reason why we chose to come and study at an integrated program. This you can do in any college, any place, and here we are in for making our career in. We are here to shape our career in a positive way. So these are guidelines to students, and the guidelines to parents is obviously related to the previous one. Ensure all infrastructure needed for online offline classes is provided, which I'm sure will be. Ensure the child attends classes and tests regularly. In case the child is absent, the parents have to notify to the subject teacher, whosever class it is, and to the academic coordinator and student counselor, who is Geeta ma'am. We'll share their numbers to you. So this is an important slide for the parents, because they need to know whom to communicate for what problem. In case my child is absent for any class or test, the respective subject teacher should be notified, as well as Geeta ma'am, as long as online classes are there. Once offline classes are there, naturally the class teacher in the school will also be notified of this. Yes. So this is something that we expect from the parents. Daily discussion with children on the feedback of classes, at least 5 minutes. We want parents to talk to the children on the classes, and children also can be very honest in giving their feedback on how did they like, whether they attended it with attention or whether they were distracted. Yes, children also can ask for help from parents. If you feel you're getting distracted, tell parents, Papa, can you work with me in the room? I'll be attending classes using my earphone. You can work if there's no meeting. So you can always take that help. Yes. And we request parents to check on the Google Classroom accounts of children to understand how many assignments are given, what is their submission status, etc. So we want you all to regularly check. Parents need to attend all the parents teachers meeting. Usually our practice is after every round test, which is once in 6 weeks, we schedule a parents teachers meeting. So we want all the parents to be present for the meetings without fail, and then regularly interact with Geeta ma'am to know feedback about your child. So as I told, any thing to do with student, how his performance is, etc. If you tell Geeta ma'am, I would like to know a consolidated report from all the teachers, then ma'am can initiate it, and then she can share about this respective thing. So don't wait for the PTMs to alone know the feedback. You are free to contact Geeta ma'am to know how your child is performing with respect to all subjects. And any issues with regard to timetable, modules, tests, etc., you can always directly contact Aparna ma'am for it. And as I said, parents must also have transparency on all the apps being used by the student. So these are some general guidelines. And the last one, which I didn't want to put it here, was be very prompt with regard to the payment of fees, etc. Because we do not want to invest our energy in repeated follow-ups for that. Let our focus be in academics and development of the child. And if our bandwidth is uh, used for all these things, then naturally we all have 24 hours, we all have limited energy. Let us put only for the development of the child. So be prompt in payments. We don't want our bandwidth to be sucked in repeated reminders, follow-ups, etc. We are trying to streamline everything with regard to academics, operations, etc. We request parents to cooperate, and we'll also be very proactive in communicating any changes or any information upfront. So this is about the guidelines. Now I want to also introduce the team, our entire team of Arjuna Academy. I'll introduce, and also I'll also speak a little on who will be handling classes. So our team, of course, I already mentioned here Geeta ma'am, who is the academic coordinator and student counselor. Then also we have Aparna ma'am, who is in charge of all the operations here, uh, timetable, tests, modules, etc. Then we also have Chaya ma'am, who you have been interacting with for admissions, fees receipt. So anything with regard to fee receipt, fee details, etc., you can directly talk to Chaya ma'am. Then the other team members, we have our director, Mr. Srikanth. Some of you have interacted with him. Sir looks after strategies and marketing part. We have our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Nagraj K. Jakrasa. He's actually the one who's overseeing all the operations to make sure we are streamlining things and doing it in a more better and better way year on year. And mathematics department, we have 4 teachers uh, at Arjuna Academy. Not all of them will be teaching the 11th standard integrated batch students. So Mr. Kunal, he's a BTech from mechanical design, mechanical mechanical manufacturing and design. That is the thing. From Triple IT Kanchipuram. Triple IT, I already told you, it is Indian Institute of Information Technology. Miss Abba Meenakshi, she's a MSc Mathematics from NIT Rourkela. Then Diksha Sharma, MSc Mathematics, Kota University. And Manitab, he's a BTech from PS University. Sir usually handles the high school batches, 8th, 9th, 10th, and a few of the NCRT classes if required. But more so for the Bangalore kids, it'll be Kunal sir. And in the initial part, I will be sharing with Kunal sir mathematics during the bridge course. And once 11th begins, Abba Meenakshi may also start handling classes, and I will reduce my mathematics classes, and she will take over few classes. Physics department, we have Mr. Chirag. Some of you have attended his demo classes also. He's a MTech from Material Science, Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology. He's a person who has achieved a lot in his life, although he's very young. He was involved in the team that manufactured the Vikram lander for Chandrayaan 2. Okay, so he was in ISRO and he was in the team that manufactured the Vikram lander. So he has already accomplished a lot in his life, and very knowledgeable person. Anything to do with physics, you can talk to him. He will inspire you, motivate you, give you directions, etc. Along with him, we have Mr. Ranjit Rajiv, who's a MTech from Cryogenics Department, IIT Kharagpur. Vivek Bhati, MTech Mechanical, IIT Mumbai. These are the 3 who are senior teachers. Mr. Sonu Jain, he is MSc Physics NITK. So he'll mostly handle the junior batches. So this is our physics team. Chemistry department, we have Ms. Ashwati Pillai. She's MSc Chemistry from NIT Surathkal. Ankit Tiwari, again MSc Chemistry from IIT Palakkad. Dhruv Manchanda, MSc Chemistry, IIT Madras, and Anusha, MSc Chemistry, Rourkela. Anusha will not be handling any of the Bangalore kids. It will be the first three teachers, and mainly it will be Ashwati and Dhruv for the major part of the 11th batch. That way. Biology department, we have Mrs. Mangal Gauri, MSc in Biotechnology, Satya Sai Institute. Ms. Divya, again MSc in Biosciences, Satya Sai Institute. Then Shreel S. Prasad, ME in Biotechnology from BITS Pilani. And Deekshita Patla, she won't be handling Bangalore kids mainly. The first three will be handling. She's MSc from Life Sciences, NIT Rourkela. So this is our entire faculty team. And I also told you the other people who are involved in operations. So we have a good team. Of course, I will also be handling few classes, visiting children regularly, and we also do have a lot of good practices going on at Arjuna Academy. Every week we have two meetings that happen regularly at Arjuna Academy. Every department has a faculty training program where uh, the department teachers come together, they discuss all the latest type of questions, challenging questions, what are better methods of communicating a same concept, etc. So a lot of tech, knowledge upgradation happens in these faculty training meetings, of which I am also a part of every one of their departments, faculty training meeting. So that is something that we do regularly. Apart from that, we have a weekly faculty meet, all employees meet where we discuss regularly about which are the students. We have an interdepartment meet where all the four departments, we regularly talk about our children, which are the children who are irregular. So then we tell Geeta ma'am, kindly talk to these parents. They're missing few classes. These are the children who are not taking up tests. These are children who aren't seriously submitting the assignments, etc. So we are following a practice where a stitch in time saves nine. So on a weekly basis, we get together as and when we see some issues, we communicate it to Geeta ma'am. So kindly be very responsive when Geeta ma'am calls you. It may be to communicate something important, not always bad. Sometimes good things also ma'am will call to communicate. So don't expect something bad when she's communicating. She's there to communicate both of them also that way. So these are some practices that we are regularly performing. And I'm not saying we are the best, but we are very serious in going closer and closer to perfection, and ensuring that children achieve their goals without a lot of difficulty. So that much about the team. Now the last part, I think we have exceeded our time, is about the results. So I'll just speak for maximum 3 minutes or 4 minutes about different achievers. This year results you already have seen on the WhatsApp group. The JE first attempt results were very good. March attempt also was good. So we have almost around 13 to 14 students most likely to qualify for JW Advanced. They are seriously preparing for JW Advanced also. CET also, we are expecting a good performance from them. But what I said I will want to speak is some good qualities each of these students had. And if you can ensure that you inherit them, then you can also succeed without great difficulty. Okay, so I'll just pick one or two. You all have the brochure. You can see all the results there on the brochure. But I thought I should highlight on few of them so that you can keep them as your role models and try to inherit those qualities. Okay, the first person whom I want to speak on is Abhinav. Okay, as I told you, Abhinav is in IIT Kharagpur currently. He's in his second year or third year. I'm not able to recollect. So this is Abhinav. Yeah. So what is the quality that I really appreciate in Abhinav is his notes. His notes is so crystal clear and precise. Several times, apart from noting down everything what the teacher gives in our classes, he does self study. He maintains a separate note for his self study. Whenever he comes across important points, difficult problems, he notes it down. And I have seen several times I would have done a problem in a particular class, and after a month, when I try to solve the same question, many of them wouldn't even know that I had already done this problem. But he would immediately spot, sir, I clearly remember you have done this problem. And why? Because his notes were so crystal clear. He would revise the notes also. So, just a minute, students. So, Abhinav, this is something that you can all try to inherit. Those who make good notes and revise it regularly, you will see that their understanding of the subject, their ability to solve problems will be very, very much different. Okay, and these people, Rahul, Srinidhi, Shashank, these are all people from our Mysore branch. What I admire in them the most is however silly their doubts are, they never hesitate to ask the teacher. Their ideology is better that I be honest in front of teacher and eventually I become successful rather than being hesitant to ask doubts. I have seen Srinidhi sometimes telling to our teachers, sir, I know last week you did this concept, you taught me, but still I'm unable to understand, can you repeat it? So that was the level of honesty and transparency he had with the teacher, and that helped him to succeed. So we request our students also, yes, uh, be very confident that teachers, we are very empathetic. When we were in your 11th and 12th days, we never understood so many things. It took time for us, so we understand that when you ask silly doubts, it may look silly now for us, but in our 11th and 12th it was not so obvious. So we don't develop perceptions about the child when you ask silly doubts, what you may see as silly, but it's not so silly actually for us, we know that. So these are two students I thought I'll mention here. And with NEET, uh, Namrata, Chirag, these are very special people because both of them, they also got a seat at NIT Surathkal. They prepared for engineering. Chirag got at NIT Surathkal Mechanical. Namrata got at NITK, I think Metallurgy. And also they made it to they made it to medical college. Namrata is studying in KIMS. Chirag is in Hassan Medical College. And again, with Chirag, what I admire is his honesty. He would always be staying back with the teacher. I remember Chirag, Srinidhi, and Shashank. These three kids would stay back up to 8 o'clock in our center and sit and solve problems and take help of teacher. They were not the kind of kids, the moment the final bell is over, they think, oh my God, this was the moment I was waiting for. Class is over. I'll rush home that way. They were never like that. And seeing their interests, teachers also stayed back with them. They would attend to their doubts, etc. Even this boy, Vishwanath, I remember he was a PS college student. He would also do that. Even from Vedanta, we have Suhas. He's in triple IT now. Yes, so same. He would be behind the teacher. So the bottom line is that you will have to be behind the teacher more than the teacher is behind you. If you're serious about success, you will have to go back. Namrata, I remember, moment she solves a worksheet, she'll say, sir, I'm done with this. I need some more worksheets to increase my confidence in this chapter. Can you give me more? Right? So those people who go behind a teacher asking for more, they get a lot of benefit. So these are people whom I can tell some of the good qualities that they had. And I'm sure if you can inherit them, you can succeed and exceed beyond their thing. Our target, of course, is so far our best CET rank is 21. By the time you graduate, we want a single digit CET rank, and it would be nice if it is CET rank 1, 2, or 3. So that's what we are aiming at in next 2 years, get within top 3 CET. NEET, of course, we want an all India rank of less than 1000. That is what we are aiming at. Same with JEE mains. So far, we have got all India rank of 1500, 1200, 2000, 3000, that way. But now we want to go in the 3-digit mark. And now, with 2 more years ahead of you, if you are focused, we'll provide all the support needed. And I'm sure you can do much better and succeed and fulfill your ambitions. So with this, I would like to conclude my talk. Sorry for exceeding the time. I think I could have gone a little faster at few places. I would also like to, there are few very special people here, dignitaries. We have Malini ma'am, principal of Vedanta, attending this meeting. Is somebody from VSS also attending? I think VSS, we'll have a orientation program for VSS students with the principal tomorrow. Parents may have to attend. I think the time that they've scheduled is 11 o'clock. We'll confirm and let you know with regard to the VSS program alone. So we have Malini ma'am, principal of Vedanta, with us. Good afternoon, ma'am.
So namaste, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So we also, are there
Namaste,
any
students?
from NPS Kengeri? You already had an induction program that happened. So I think you got introduced to all of them. BGS principal has conveyed best wishes. She is unable to make it today for the program. And ma'am will always also be supporting us, both students and Arjuna Academy, for smooth functioning of the entire program. Now I would like to pause here because we don't have much time for question answers. I actually wanted to take a little more time for questions, but 2 o'clock is what we have scheduled. Can we have quick question and answer session if you all have anything?
Good afternoon, sir. This is Vinayak here. I am Aditya's father.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Sir, can you throw some light on how the offline classes will be conducted once the pandemic is get over?
Yes, yes. So
whether it will be classes from your center or from the schools?
No, it will be at their respective centers. So at Vedanta, it will be at Vedanta. Those who have enrolled at Vijayanagar will come to Vijayanagar. Those who are enrolled at VSS integrated will come to VSS. BGS will come to BGS. NPS will come to NPS. That way.
Others 2 subjects will be faculties will be from the school.
By the respective school, yes. The other subjects and the labs also will be handled by the respective school faculty.
Okay. And just now you highlighted one point, sir, related to NPS induction program is already conducted.
I think that was for regular CBSE students. I'm sorry, it is not for integrated batch. It is for the regular CBSE students.
Okay, okay. Since my son not attended this program,
yes,
I thought of getting it clarified.
It was regular CBSE students, not integrated batch. The other thing that we'll give you very soon by tonight is for the bridge course lesson plan. So daily what chapters will happen, session wise plan we'll give you, and within 1 or 2 weeks we'll also share the entire program of work for the year. Week wise, what topics will be covered, when are your tests going to be, competitive tests, round tests, etc. So all that you'll be getting. Timetable wise, 8:30 to 2:30 once the offline classes start. 8:30 to 2:30 is something for the Vijayanagar, NPS, BGS and VSS we will have. NCRT and CET curriculum, and 2:30 to 4:30 JEE curriculum. And for Vedanta kids, in the morning slot, we'll have the JEE session. That's how we have planned once offline classes start. Until then, online, we'll share the timetable. So the next 4 weeks is only bridge course. You will have just 4 sessions, 1 session each of PCMB, or 2 sessions of physics and chemistry Monday, then math and biology later. So it'll be half a day schedule for the next 1 month. All the topics of 8th, 9th, 10th shall be discussed. Any other questions?
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Chitra. I'm the parent of Nandan Srinivas.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, since all the classes are online and the bridge course is conducted by Arjuna, and he will be enrolled in NPS Kengeri. So I assume that the attendance will be managed by Arjuna Academy and given to NPS. Is that how it works?
Yes, ma'am. The bridge course part, the attendance won't actually go into the records because we haven't officially started. But we will have all the records kept and shared to NPS also, the bridge course attendance. But that will go into the records of the respective school will be once the 11th begins actually.
Okay. And when the 11th begins, language and computer science will be handled by NPS Kengeri, right? So
yes.
Would this be added to the existing timetable of?
Yes, ma'am. We already made slots. We have kept empty slots. We have already got together, met, frozen the timetable, etc. So between 8:30 to 2:30, some slots will be where language will happen, labs will happen, etc.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So what about the books?
Yes. So modules, we are waiting for this lockdown to be lifted, but our tentative plan is June 21st, that is 1 month's time from now, we are going to start with 11th syllabus. So we are planning to give it at your respective institutes before June 21st. So then the school will communicate to you on collecting the modules. I think from 21st, you should have modules with you also because we are starting our 11th, right?
Namaskar.
Yes.
My name is Phani and I am Aditi's father.
Yes.
Just wanted to, because you just mentioned about a few sentences back that for the different schools, the timing was from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. That is for basically CET and all that. But for Vedanta, you mentioned that we are following separate timing.
That is once the physical classes start. Now bridge course, everything will be same.
Correct. But what is that AAA is doing for these schools differently than for Avedantu?
No, it is the same. Here, competitive exams is between 8:30 to 10. That is
the only difference, right?
Timings are different, sir. Sorry to interrupt. The timings at individual schools are different. We give preference early morning for the integrated batch students, integrated course. Languages and all we take in the evening time. But in other schools, it is different. They may give preference for the practical and the languages first and integrated later. So timings vary according to their school timetable, they will give the slot. But at Vedanta, integrated batch will be only in the morning, fresh, early morning. I want them to attend these major core subjects.
For people who want to be doing only CET plus JEE, whereas people who will be going for NEET, so these are being an integrated course. So you will be, when the problems are solved for the student, so this will be done simultaneously for all the students, right?
Meaning, sir, could you?
I will just clarify.
Here, PCM and PCB is what they are trying to say.
No, I'm not talking that. I am not talking. Sorry, I think I got my question wrong. I will rephrase it so that because the kind of work which is required for students for doing a CET as compared to JEE, so that level will be different. But some students we also know would find it little bit more efforts and more dedication required. Maybe they fall short. But when you solve the problems, you will be solving, as you mentioned, precisely that notebook. We have to make 2 sections. So when the class is going on, you will be making this question is for CET.
Yes,
this question exactly. We specify everything, sir, because The question paper pattern will differ for each examination. So while explaining, we'll specify whether it is for CET level or for the NEET level or for the JEE main level.
Okay, now my other question would be that if that is the case, then some student may decide that, okay, I want to be only looking for CET. Of course, from the knowledge point of view is always good that if I can solve slightly higher level questions, then I can definitely solve the CET level questions. That's the normal, I'm just in the psychology part of it. It's always good to learn more, but what happens to such cases?
Then what we recommend is now if the child is able to understand that CET is what is something he's comfortable at, then the first thing that the child has to do is ensure that entire CET module is solved without doubt, without leaving even a corner unturned. So any question of the CET module, the child completely solves. If the child is saying this is my focus, then what we say is you get the higher knowledge, but if you're understanding that, okay, this may happen, may not happen, but this is something that I'm surely confident that I can do, then he has to prioritize and solve the module completely and take more guidance from teachers on what next to do apart from the CET module. If he finds that JEE is something which is very difficult for me.
We'll give him only the CET papers to solve. Initially, we start from the basic, where CET will be the basic for all the students. So because we don't want to panic them giving the advanced level questions. Otherwise, this child lose their confidence to solve the tough problems. Okay. So first we will train up for a few weeks. It will go up in the CET level. Once their confidence is boosted up, we will take them to the higher level of JEE main, and then we focus for the advanced level. So we go stepwise.
So that is why we have given these 3 levels of modules, because all these years, what used to happen, sometimes children wouldn't know what is relevant for CET, what is relevant for JEE. So this will give them a lot of clarity. Okay, CET is this much, JEE is this. Now, therefore, we say the student has to be in regular touch with the teacher. If the student feels that, oh, sir, JEE is getting tough for me, I want to, like, I'll tell you in my own case, in the first year when I went through the JEE program, I found it extremely difficult to understand thermodynamics, rotational mechanics, etc. So what I did was, at that time, I paused solving the JEE questions. I only did the CET questions, developed the confidence, then I went and solved the JEE questions eventually. So that's the standard practice which we tell all the students to do. Because each child will be at different levels. Now, one child may be extremely quick. So then he can, in the given span of time, the child can do level 1, level 2, level 3 also, which is CET, JEE mains, JEE advanced level. But if the child is a little slow learner, we say put more time, make sure level 1 is fully done. And as you go more and more into the subject with months passing by, you'll see slowly that your capacity will increase. You will start being able to solve few level 2 questions also. But I'm sure you would have developed a backlog of level 2 of other chapters. But towards the end, the child, if he's feeling confident, he or she can try to make up for it. So we recommend the children that go level wise. First, get confidence solving level 1 questions. It's like, okay, I know what CET is. I don't have to worry about it. Once you're comfortable with that, then look at JEE mains questions also, then the JEE advanced. That's the whole purpose of giving separate modules so that the child knows the level of each of these exams. Did that answer, sir, your question?
Yeah, certainly, yes.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Good
Any other?
Good
Yes.
afternoon, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Kavita and I'm parent of Atharva.
Athar, yes.
So I just wanted to ask about KVP there because in few months they'll be having their exam essay stream. So how about that preparation, sir?
Pardon, ma'am, few months?
They'll be having the essay stream exams, right? KVP, right?
Yes, essay stream. Yes, correct. Yes, ma'am. For second year, we have started from this one. For them, yeah, we were initially planning to start from June because as far as the information that we got, this year also the KVPY won't happen in November like last year. Last year, KVPY was on Jan 31st. That was the time when KVPY actually took place. So we are assuming that it will be a similar time frame. So we currently our plan is as soon as we start off with June 21st, our classes, KVPY classes will also happen. In the timetable, you'll see those who are aspiring for KVPY, we'll have a separate slot, which will not, clash with any of your school timings or regular thing. It'll be on a daily basis. They'll have 1 hour of KVPY classes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Myself, Shrikantappa S, parent of Vishwanath S. Patel. We have registered from Srirangapatna.
Yes. That we'll contact you, and this one we'll give you a separate guidelines for that, sir. Today mainly the orientation was for all the Bangalore batches. For the Srirangapatna part, we'll communicate very soon to you. I think
I'm also attending the orientation program.
But that's okay. You got to know about all our teachers, all the methodology parts, sir.
That's right, sir. Yeah, no information about the program details.
Yes, there mainly there's a little delay because we are waiting for the government to throw some light on 10th standard board exam, because there you will see more of here in these places we are not waiting for the state. We still have some, like if you look at here, except Vedanta and our Vijayanagar center, rest are all CBSE based centers. So there we don't have to wait for the PU results, but in Srirangapatna it's a PU college, so we want to make sure that a few admissions will be happening, so we start the bridge course a little late there.
Can my son attend the classes now, or we have to wait? You are not scheduling the classes now.
Yes, for Srirangapatna we'll schedule it separately. I'll ask Chaya ma'am to contact you regarding this part, sir. Srirangapatna, whether your child can attend. I think it should be okay. He'll get 2 times revision.
He's CBSE, sir. He's CBSE only.
Yes, CBSE, correct.
And CBSE, so he's not waiting for any examinations.
Yeah. I think he can attend, sir. There's no doubt. I just talked to Chaya ma'am, and ma'am will update to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions, dear parents, students?
Sir, will this course help NATA preparation also?
Yes, NATA, we have, if you look at the subjects in NATA, mathematics, then you have general aptitude, then you have drawing. These are the 3 topics. So mathematics, certainly CET and JEE preparation will make you get very good scores. If you prepare well here, your NATA math score will be very high. That will obviously push your rank to a large extent. But the general aptitude and drawing is something that you'll have to prepare by yourself. If you have attended NTSC classes in standard 10, general aptitude I think should be manageable. We can also share few recordings of our 10th standard NTSC classes if you wish to hear them. And then drawing alone will be something that you need to prepare by yourself.
Sir, again, Vinayak here.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, this is as I asked just one question related to this thing. There are some students are not integrated from the they have not taken the integrated course from the NPS.
Mm-hmm.
How the classes will be conducted, regular classes with respect to the board exams?
Board exams, yes. So the whole plan is, as long as it is online classes, we are not going to club all the integrated batches into one, because the strength will be very large and it wouldn't give a personal touch. So we are, as long as it is online, we are planning to club 2 batches maximum, or batches such that the maximum strength is 30-35. If the strength is beyond 35, then we are not going to club them. And so for now, all these integrated batches have the same program of work. So online classes, although there will be 2 batches that will be clubbed. Once offline goes, because it's the exact same program of work, exactly same teachers will be going and teaching at all these places. It will just continue normal. Only difference is instead of being clubbed into one, they'll now be separate, and our teachers will go separately to each of those places and conduct and continue from where they left off at online. Hope that answered your query, sir.
Yes, sir. What I'm trying to ask you here is non-integrated students will not be part of this online program.
Okay. I understood. Your NPS regular CBSE students won't be part of this group, bridge course group.
Okay. For them, the teachers will be different. They will not be from the.
Yeah, at NPS it will be a different thing, because there's nothing to do with any extra training also, and even the NCERT part will be handled separately by them.
Okay. For them, teachers would be totally different teachers.
Different teachers, yes. It will be different teachers.
Right, sir.
Okay, I think we'll conclude now. We have already exceeded. If there are any other questions from parent side, you can feel free to connect to Chaya ma'am. Let ma'am compile all the questions, and we'll respond to you. Most of them Chaya ma'am herself may be able to answer. If she isn't, she'll get back to me, and we can respond to your queries. Thank you, parents, for your patient hearing. Bridge course class will be, of course, combined all these, because we are still in the process of completing admissions. We wanted to have it combined. We'll have around 50 students in the bridge course, but once our June month classes start, it will be maximum 30-35 in any batch. We are not going to exceed that. Otherwise, there's no question of personal attention, etc. So all the best, students. The homework for the next 1 month we have already given you. Attend the bridge course, solve the handouts, but most importantly, do a lot of research on what opportunities are available. Make sure that you have clear-cut plan A, plan B, plan C done for you. And then we can start facilitating you to helping you achieve your goals. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Malini ma'am, for being through almost for the entire session in spite of your busy schedule. Parents, if there are any things more that you would like to ask, feel free to directly get in touch with Chaya ma'am. I again repeat, and all your queries can be answered without any doubt. Okay, so shall we end here? All the best, students. We obviously want to see all of you also in our brochure 2 years from now, with all good ranks and getting into prestigious colleges and having a successful career, and most importantly, contributing in a positive way to country and the world at large. Okay, so thank you once again. All the best. Bye. Meet you on Monday. So Monday is when our bridge course classes will begin. Timetable will be shared along with day-wise lesson plan by tonight. Okay. Thank you.